Ybor City on a Friday night pulses with life, music, laughter, and the warmth of community. The historic brick streets are alive with energy, as people from all walks of life come together to celebrate the end of another week. The air is thick with anticipation, and every corner seems to hold a new story waiting to unfold. On November 7, 2025, the historic district was alive with celebration. Friends gathering at Bradley's on 7th, a beloved LGBTQ+ sanctuary. For many, this bar is more than just a place to grab a drink. It's a symbol of acceptance, a safe haven where everyone is welcome to be themselves. The outdoor patio buzzed with joy, people sharing stories under the Florida sky, feeling safe in a pedestrian-only haven. Laughter echoed off the walls, and the glow of string lights made the night feel magical, as if nothing bad could ever happen here. No one could have imagined the horror about to unfold. In a place so full of life and hope, the idea of tragedy seemed unthinkable. The city's rhythm was familiar: music, food, and the comfort of belonging. Street musicians played their hearts out, and the aroma of local cuisine drifted through the air, adding to the sense of togetherness. The sense of security was real, the streets closed to traffic, creating a space where worries faded. People strolled freely, letting their guards down, trusting in the safety of their community. That night was supposed to be about connection and happiness, a brief escape from the pressures of the week. Friends embraced, strangers became companions, and the city felt united in celebration. But in an instant, that peace was shattered. The laughter was replaced by screams, and confusion swept through the crowd like a sudden storm. The sudden, violent intrusion that followed was an unimaginable violation of trust. Sirens pierced the night, and the flashing lights of emergency vehicles cast an eerie glow over faces frozen in disbelief. A scene of celebration turned to tragedy in the blink of an eye. Friends clung to each other, searching for comfort and answers in the chaos. The safe space they cherished became the epicenter of heartbreak. The very place that once offered refuge now held only sorrow and disbelief. What was meant to be a night of joy became a night the community would never forget. In the days that followed, the city gathered to mourn, lighting candles and holding each other close, determined to heal together. The heart of Ybor City was changed forever. The echoes of that night linger, a reminder of both the fragility of peace and the strength of a community determined to reclaim its sense of safety and belonging. The tragedy began miles away, with a reckless street race that would soon spiral out of control, setting off a chain of events no one could have predicted. The cars were first spotted by a Tampa police helicopter, its night vision camera capturing the chaos from above as the drivers pushed their limits. A silver 2019 Toyota Camry and another car tore down Hillsborough Avenue, weaving dangerously through traffic, their engines roaring as they darted between unsuspecting vehicles, risking lives with every reckless maneuver. The Camry's driver showed no regard for anyone's safety, accelerating onto I-275 and racing into downtown Tampa, the city lights blurring past as he pushed the car to its limits. Florida Highway Patrol quickly located the vehicle and began pursuit, their sirens piercing the night as they tried to intercept the danger before it reached the city's heart, hoping to prevent disaster. Every high-speed chase is a gamble, and this one was escalating fast. The tension mounted with every passing second, as officers weighed the risks of continuing the pursuit. An FHP trooper attempted a pit maneuver to stop the Camry, but it failed, the suspect regaining control and speeding away, undeterred and even more reckless. The driver, Silas Sampson, only became more desperate, racing toward Ybor City's crowded streets, his actions growing more erratic as he tried to evade capture at any cost. Recognizing the mounting risk to the public, FHP made the difficult decision to disengage, hoping that pulling back would de-escalate the situation and prevent innocent people from being hurt. But Sampson didn't slow down. With law enforcement no longer in direct pursuit, he continued his reckless flight, ignoring every warning sign and every possible consequence. He sped straight toward 7th Avenue, now an uncontrolled force heading for unsuspecting pedestrians, the danger growing with every block he covered. The decision to race, to flee, and to ignore every warning would have catastrophic consequences, not just for Sampson, but for everyone in his path that night. The celebration on 7th Avenue was about to collide with one man's reckless choices, as hundreds gathered, unaware of the danger barreling toward them. The stage was set for disaster, a perfect storm of speed, poor poor decisions, and innocent lives in the balance. Suddenly the sounds of celebration were pierced by the roar of an engine. The silver Camry, out of control, barreled toward Bradley's outdoor patio. There was no time to react, no time to run. The car plowed into the crowd, turning joy into chaos and horror. 17 people were struck in an instant. The patio became a scene of devastation. Music replaced by screams, laughter by terror. Emergency responders arrived within minutes, facing a mass casualty event. 3 people died at the scene, a 4th would die later at the hospital. 13 others were injured, 2 critically. Sirens filled the night as ambulances rushed the wounded away. Witnesses, in shock, tried to help, their hands stained with the reality of tragedy. The community's safe space was now a crime scene. The trauma would linger long after the sirens faded. Ybor City's heart was broken. Behind the numbers, 4 dead, 13 injured, are real people with dreams, ambitions, and loved ones who now face a world forever changed. Each name represents a life interrupted, a future that will never unfold, and a family left to pick up the pieces. They came to Ybor for joy, not tragedy. For many, it was a place to celebrate milestones, to dance, to feel free and accepted among friends. Each victim was a cherished member of the community, their absence leaving a void that can never be filled. The empty seats at dinner tables and the silence at gatherings are constant reminders of what's been lost. They were sons, daughters, friends, and partners, woven into Tampa's vibrant fabric. Their laughter, kindness, and spirit touched countless lives. Their lives had meaning. Their loss a profound tragedy. The pain ripples outward, affecting not just families, but neighbors, co-workers, and the entire city. They trusted they'd be safe in a place built on acceptance and belonging, a space where everyone could be themselves without fear. That trust was shattered in an instant, replaced by shock, fear, and heartbreak that will linger for years to come. As we mourn, we honor their memory by remembering the laughter, the plans, the love they shared. Stories are told, photos cherished, and their light kept alive in the hearts of those who knew them. Their families now face unimaginable grief, forced to navigate birthdays, holidays, and everyday moments without them. The LGBTQ+ community in particular feels the loss deeply. Bradley's was their sanctuary, a place where acceptance was unconditional. These were not just statistics, they were people who deserved so much more. Their dreams, their hopes, and their futures were stolen in a moment. Their deaths are a blow to a community that has fought hard for safety and acceptance, a reminder of how fragile that sense of security can be. We remember them with dignity and vow never to forget. Their stories will live on, inspiring us to cherish one another and to keep fighting for a world where everyone is truly safe. Tampa's leaders responded swiftly, voicing sorrow and support for a grieving city. Police Chief Bercaw called it a senseless tragedy, the result of reckless criminal behavior, not a targeted attack. Mayor Jane Castor promised a thorough investigation and unity, standing with victims and their families. The LGBTQ+ community felt the loss acutely. Bradley's is more than a bar, it's a safe haven. Organizations like Tampa Pride and St. Pete Pride offered solidarity and resources for those struggling. The city's response was compassionate and immediate, providing comfort and a path forward. Leaders emphasized the importance of safe spaces and community resilience. Their unified message: Tampa stands together in grief and healing. In darkness, the city's compassion shone through. Police quickly apprehended Silas Sampson, the 22-year-old driver responsible for the devastation. He was arrested at the scene and now faces 4 counts of vehicular homicide and 4 counts of aggravated fleeing with serious injury or death, all first-degree felonies. More charges may follow as the investigation continues. Authorities stress there's no evidence this was a targeted hate crime, but the pain remains. The Florida Highway Patrol leads the investigation, piecing together every detail. The community watches, hoping for justice and accountability. The legal process is just beginning, but the message is clear. Reckless actions have consequences. Justice for the victims is now at the heart of Tampa's healing. In the aftermath, Tampa came together in grief and solidarity. The area outside Bradley's became a memorial, flowers, candles, and notes honoring the lost. A candlelight vigil drew hundreds, united in silence and remembrance. Local businesses and organizations rallied, raising funds for victims and offering counseling. The LGBTQ+ community wrapped its arms around those affected, ensuring no one faced this alone. The response was a testament to love and resilience in the face of tragedy. Collective mourning became a vital step toward healing. The city's true character shone through: unity, compassion, and strength. Though the scar is deep, Tampa refuses to let violence define it. Together, the community begins the long journey to healing. The tragedy reignited debate over high-speed police pursuits and public safety. Chases can escalate danger, putting innocent lives at risk, as seen in Ybor City. Many departments now limit pursuits, weighing the crime's severity against community risk. In this case, FHP disengaged as the car neared crowded streets, reflecting growing caution. National reports urge reducing pursuits, citing the toll of injuries and deaths. The debate is complex. How to balance justice with public safety? The Ybor crash forces tough questions. When is a pursuit worth the risk? As investigations continue, police nationwide will study this tragedy to refine their policies. The goal? Protect lives while holding offenders accountable. Tampa's path to healing will be long, the scars of that night slow to fade. Healing means honoring the victims and reaffirming the values that make the community strong. Bradley's and places like it are sanctuaries, spaces of acceptance and belonging. The violation of that safety has only strengthened the resolve to protect these spaces. The outpouring of support shows the resilience of Tampa's spirit. Ongoing conversations about safety, justice, and prevention will shape the city's future. The legal process will seek accountability, but true healing happens in the community's daily acts of kindness. The memory of those lost will forever be part of Tampa's story. The greatest tribute working to ensure every night out is safe for all. Though wounded, Tampa's heart will heal, stronger, united, and filled with hope.